Today I'm going to be talking about this instrument that I got in the mail yesterday, made by Equinox Musical Instruments. I ordered this about, I think, a month and a half ago, and it finally came yesterday. I spent a good part of that day, a good part of yesterday, testing, or not really testing, but setting it up and seeing if I need to work on it and seeing if I don't have to work on it and stuff like that. So Equinox Musical Instruments is an interesting company. They offer you the opportunity to make whatever you'd like them to make under certain conditions. There are some things that they can't do, but they were able to do something like this for me, which is nice. First off, let's go over the pros. This is a really light guitar. This is probably the lightest guitar I have right now. I have no idea how much it weighs exactly, but it's really, really light, and I like that, honestly. I've owned heavy guitars in the past, and they just don't feel right to me. They're just really, really uncomfortable. This is comfortable, the way it is. Keep in mind that this is a full thickness body, no cutaways or anything, so other than that, that's not really a big issue. String through bridge. This is actually a bridge that can be strung through the top, like so, right there. There's holes there for the strings to go through. It's a really nice bridge. The pots are pretty, they're about standard for what you'd expect for something this price. Now I'll tell you how much I paid for it later. One of the knobs I've taken off one of the knobs. The toggle switch is pretty decent, I must say. Again, it's about what you would expect on something the price range I paid for. These two pickups are two Strat pickups, and they're just regular no-name pickups that the factory offers. And I think they sound really, really good clean. And distorted, but once you put fuzz, I can't really get a good fuzz tone out of it, but that's okay. Everything else it can do pretty great, actually. There's no pickguard or anything. It's just two pickups directly mounted into the wood. The back, the ferrules aren't necessarily 100% perfectly aligned. That's okay. If that bothers you, then it bothers you. It doesn't really bother me because it's in the back, and it's whatever, really. It doesn't detract the value that this guitar has to me. Back plate, 4-bolt neck plate, excuse me. And football jack right here. All right, so the neck is actually really, really nice feeling. It's nice and thin. I asked him if he can if I can have a neck that is close to a Squier John 5 Telecaster, because that used to be one of my favorite guitars before I sold it. It feels really, really nice. 22 frets. Rosewood fretboard, actually, which is interesting. I thought that they were using different materials to make it to, I don't know, just, I thought they'd be using different materials ever since the CITES regulations came out. So, but whatever, it's actually pretty surprising. I don't mind it. Fretboard wood is fretboard wood to me. It's as long as it's there, it's there. No idea. I think this is just a plastic nut here. I don't know. I had to do quite a bit of work with this nut, and I think I might just have to get a new one, honestly. That's really like the nut and maybe the pots. Honestly, the pots are not the most dynamic that I've ever used, but those are like what, a couple bucks for both of them. The nut, I could probably get a good nut for 10 bucks maybe. The tuning machines are have a really nice gear ratio to them, really smooth. Interestingly enough, there are no string trees, so I'll probably get string trees too. Not really a big deal to me. And there's the logo right there. And here's the back with the walnut stripe or rosewood stripe. There's even, I think this has a little bit more of a volute on the back of the neck than most Fender guitars I've seen, but I don't know. Clear coat on the back too, which it feels really, really nice. So overall, this guitar has a really good fit and finish. It's really light. It's really comfortable. It sounds really good. It sounds as good as any other guitar I've ever owned and played. But Strat single coils, that is, and I've owned a lot. If I had to work on it, I'd have to, the frets are really buzzy. Sorry. So I'll probably address the frets at some point. Not all the frets are completely buzzy. I think if I change the nut, the strings are really deep into the nut, and the action is really, really low. So I'll heighten the strings up a little bit more, change out the nut. That might help, but I'll probably do a fret dressing on this thing too. I don't know. This is a really nice guitar for what I paid for. I paid 350 bucks for this guitar, and it's about as good as a Squier Vintage Modified guitar. Almost as good as a Classic Vibe once I get it fixed up. It's just some tiny little things that I need to work on to make this thing truly come alive. So I'll just do like some quick clean and dirty settings here. I'm running it through a Bossier straight compression sustainer for cleans, and when I switch over to the dirty channel of my Orange CR120, I will use a Electro Harmonix crayon for a little bit more of a punch. So without further ado, here's the bridge pickup. I'm still stretching the strings out a bit. The factory strings are kind of dead, and I wanted to just add new ones. I had new strings laying around anyways. So position with both pickups on. Here's the neck. So that's cleans. We'll switch over to the dirty channel and we'll kick on the crayon. This is the bridge pickup on the dirty channel. Apologize for my mediocre playing. This is the middle pickup. Might have to do some intonation work. It came pretty close, but they're still a little bit off, just by a little bit. This is the neck pickup. So that's how it sounds for what I use it for. I mean, this is kind of a just a quick demonstration more than anything, more than any, showcasing what I can do. But this guitar is pretty good, I must say, for 350 bucks. I mean, I don't know if you can really beat anything like this. You can, I mean, this is something that I thought of, and I thought, I'd see if they can do it, and they were able to do it. And they do a whole bunch of custom bodies and different things. You can, if you're thinking of, if you have something in your head that you want to see built, they can probably do it, and they can probably do it for a really good price. This thing is just really, really, I mean, it needs work, yes, but this thing is just really, really nice. And I think once it's completely, worked on and finished, it's going to be great. Not a whole lot of cons. Came to me, and there's some dings, like a little bit of factory imperfections, but it's not really anything that detracts from what I like out of the guitar. If you're someone who wants a guitar that is super duper clean when it comes to you, like anything in this price range is going to have something like this, and this guitar is no exception. Yet again, that does not bother me. So this guitar, Equinox Musical Instruments, this thing is pretty nice. And I gotta thank Sean Battle for just helping me. His customer service is second to none. He really makes sure to take care of you, and he just is so nice to talk to. He is so upfront and honest about everything that they do at Equinox, and I can't really say anything bad about my experience with this company. It's just a really, really, really awesome experience. So this is the Equinox Double Cut Telecaster, customized. Hope you you know, check them out. I'll post links in the description of the video, and hit him up. See if he can do something for you. So I think that's all I have to say. So sweet guitar for awesome price points. Nice. Cheers.